low self-esteem will ruin everything you touch. But if I had it, here's what I would do to take my power back. First off, I'd understand, what is it even doing here? Why do I have low self-esteem? What's the source? Where did it originate from? Because if you can find that, you can start to let go of the self-esteem and start to find your confidence. Because underneath the low self-esteem, there is a tremendous amount of confidence and greatness and belief within yourself. But until that low self-esteem is understood and you ask questions like why, it's going to keep getting in the way of your confidence. I remember I used to seek permission for everything. I used to seek validation. I used to people please because I had low self-esteem. But once I realized what was really going on, I was trying to get my needs met. I was projecting unconscious, unprocessed fears onto the external world that came from the low self-esteem. And when I realized that, I started to see that this isn't even who I actually am. There's another part of me. There's a higher self that is actually confident, that is actually powerful, that believes in themselves, that knows what I want. And maybe there's a part of that within you. But it's really about going into it and seeing why is it there, like I was saying, right? So the second you start to see where that originated from, you're going to understand that it's been conditioned. This low self-esteem that you think is you, and that's the other thing, it's not the whole of you, it's a part. And when you can feel that separation and create that space, you're going to start to give it what it needs and talk to it and again understand it. And I keep saying that because if you don't do that first step, nothing's going to change. So you have to understand that the second you start to talk to it, to speak to it, and I just avoid it and push it to the side, you're going to start to release it and let it go. And like I said, I was constantly seeking validation. I was constantly people pleasing. And it was because I had low self-esteem, but I had low self-worth. I didn't know my true worth. I didn't know what my true value was. And that I was valuable, and I didn't have to earn my value, and I didn't have to earn acceptance, because that's also when you have low self-esteem, you feel like you have to earn those two things, and that's not the case. But the second you start to realize, hey, there's another part over here that does believe in you, that does want to see you win, that does have a high level of confidence, and you start to pay attention more to that version of you, you start to believe more in that version of you, this is when things start to shift. But you got to be aware. You have to be aware. I remember when I first started doing this kind of work and teaching others and empowering others, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't have a lot of belief in myself. I definitely had low self-worth and low self-esteem. And I remember sending a direct message to one of my mentors, asking him, hey, is this something you think I can do? Right? Trying to be validated, trying to have someone outside of me tell me that I can do this and give me permission for my purpose, for my journey, which is silly when you think about it, but sometimes too, people need others to believe in them before they can believe in themselves. And that was the case. And I remember reaching out to my mentor, and I shared with him, I'm living with my parents. I've been really studying and diving deep into this material for about 2 years now, but am I qualified? I don't have a successful business. I don't have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I still don't. I don't have all these attributes of success or these manifestations of success, and I didn't know if I was enough, if I had enough value to give to the world. And you know what he said? Are you kidding me? And at first I was like surprised. I'm like, what do you mean? Right? It's like, are you kidding me? Go. I said, what are you waiting for? He saw past my BS excuses. He saw past my BS stories. And he gave me the permission that I was really trying to give to myself. And I went. And I still have the screenshot of that, that direct message, by the way. But I went. And here we are a couple years later. And the truth is that even if you have low self-esteem, even if you have low confidence, low self-worth, it doesn't have to stop you from moving forward. You can keep going. You can still show up and do the work, even if you're nervous, even if there's a little voice of self-doubt, even if the inner critic is there. That voice that's connected to the low self-esteem, it's not really you. It was conditioned into you. It was given to you by authority figures, probably your parents, your cousins, your aunts, uncles, wherever you were around, mainly growing up. I need you to connect to the other voice that I was talking about earlier. That voice is going to take you where you want to go. That voice isn't going to be afraid to fail, right? So that's what I would do. The first thing I would do, again, is understand why it's there, so you can feel the emotions. What emotions are attached to the low self-esteem? Low self-worth, low confidence, right? Not feeling like you're enough. A lot of people feel or struggle with imposter syndrome, right? Maybe like they're a fraud, or and also the fear of being seen. Very common. But if you can get to the root and challenge it, that's the next thing I would do. Challenge why that self-esteem is there, right? Or why that low self-esteem is there. Is that really you? Because I bet you can go back in time and look at some successes, some wins that you've gone through that were hard, that maybe you didn't feel like you could trust yourself as much, or that you could really do it. But you did, even with the low self-esteem, even with the low confidence. But see, confidence and low self-esteem is not something you need to take the step. Confidence is built afterwards, right? After you do something that's hard, after you do something that you think you couldn't do. So don't think that that's the reason why you're disqualified, or that you can't go after your dreams, or do whatever it is that your heart's calling you towards. It's a story. It's a story. And there's a core emotion underneath all of it, right? So when you can challenge it, when you can challenge that low self-esteem and be like, no, hold on. I've done X, Y, and Z. How do I have low self-esteem? You start to see past the facade. You start to see past the conditioning. You go beyond the story, and you realize that you're so much more. And no matter what you've gone through, right now, you can start to believe in yourself. You can start to see that you have it in you. You have it in you. And if you keep putting yourself in situations that are hard, that are challenging, that completely contradict the belief or the story that you have low self-esteem, you're going to start to overcome it at a rapid pace. All right? So I need you to see that it's just a part. It's just a part. That low self-esteem and that voice. And it needs to be heard. You have to find out why it's really there. And once you do that and you challenge it, you start to realize it's not even you. It's not even the real you, right? But I'm letting you know there's another part. It's another part of you that knows that they can do anything. And I need you to trust in that part.